don't even know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, March 31st. And the topic du jour on Nextdoor or WhatsApp today is the gym. Now that the POA election is over and things have settled down for about a week, we are back onto the gym discussion. People have asked me numerous times about my, where I stand on this. Let me set a little bit of groundwork here first. One, putting a new gym in is a CDD issue, not a POA issue. They would work in conjunction with one another. There would have to be some discussion because it's going to affect property owners, but it is really a CDD discussion. And there's a couple things that have been floated around, and I have as many questions as I really do have answers. And I will preface this entire thing by saying that I'm not opposed to a gym, okay? But the sentiment that I have heard is, if you build it, they will come. I could not respectfully disagree more with that sentiment than anything else. I know so many of you, me included at times, have bought gym memberships I didn't use, gym equipment that's sat in my bedroom that became a coat hanger and stuff laid up on it. So just because we build it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be filled. So what I wanted to do is not so much sit here and go oppose or against, but just ask some questions. So I wrote down some of the top line questions that I have that haven't been answered. One, who pays for it? Are we going to bond to get the money to pay for a 3,000 plus square foot facility? Two, where is it going to go? It can't fit in the existing space. So where would the new gym go with parking, and what happens to the existing space? That's part of it. What I haven't seen, I haven't seen plans. B, I haven't seen bids. This is the one thing that I think concerns neighbors that I talk to is nothing is done in an open bidding system. There seems to be people involved that are already kind of decided that they want to do this, or at least have the resources to do it, and jobs are being handed out, or at least that's the way it appears to me from what I've discussed. Why aren't there 3 bids to build a gym? Why aren't we seeing open discussions about who and how and where it's going to go? And then who maintains it? Do we have staff to maintain it? We don't have a full-time person that checks property. We have a committee that goes and talks about properties for the POA that might be in distress that need to be looked at or examined. We don't have full-time staff to do that. So who maintains this gym? Okay, and all of this to be said with, I personally don't believe someone who's coming to buy a house, if they're going to look at houses, all things being equal, are going to say, I want to buy in Corey Lake because there's a state-of-the-art gym facility. This isn't recruiting college athletes. This is a community with a majority of an aging aging aspect of the community. So how does the gym get broken down? Is it all equipment for circuit stuff for more seniors? Is it gym rat equipment like I use? So what's it going to cost? How's it going to affect my property value? I don't think outside residents are ever going to see it unless they come in here to buy a house, and I don't think it's a differentiator unless someone can convince me otherwise. And all this being said, I pay $9 a month to go to Crunch. Yeah, I got to drive 15 minutes. But $9 a month, I don't have to clean equipment. I don't have to pay somebody to clean the equipment. It's all included in my $9 a month. So are you telling me that my whatever cost is associated with this is going to be less than $10 a month? And then on top of that, what equipment's going to be in there? You have different communities that use different stuff. So coming from someone who goes to the gym 5-6 days a week, I know I don't look like it, but I go to the gym regularly. I've been in this gym here. I've never seen more than a dozen times I've been in that gym. I've never seen more than 2 people at a time in that gym. So if there is such an outcry to have this facility in place, I don't see that. And I don't see a lot of these questions being answered. How do we award a job to somebody without taking multiple bids to see who's going to do the best facility for us? And then the other thing is that existing facility. Now, if you tell me there's a trade-off where we're going to, a couple things that might offset it, that might make it something I could get on board with. If you if you're going to hire staff to maintain the gym, why not take the existing space and convert it to something like they have at Heritage Isles, so outside residents can actually eat in here and create a cafe? It doesn't have to be a 5-star restaurant. Create a coffee shop so people could come and sit and have coffee in the morning and breakfast, and show outside neighbors that that exists and allow them access to it, or allow outside access to the gym. If you're going to build it close to Morris Bridge Road, allow outside access to pay for it if that's what you're going to. I mean, there's options there to be done, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I'm just saying I don't have enough information. And if the overriding sentiment is if you build it, they will come, that's not how it works. I'm sorry. That doesn't work that way. Look around your house. How many bicycles do you have sitting in your garage that you don't use? How many Bowflexes you have your clothes hanging on? And how many gym memberships do you have that you don't use or you take advantage of? So until you can tell me how it's going to help maintain my property value, entice neighbors to move here or want to move here, right now everything's good. There's a bidding war on houses. Houses go on the market. They have 5 bids in a day. Right now, nobody cares. You want to spend money to spend money. That's one thing, but it's got to have some value added to it to make it worth it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are for it, and it seems like I'm coming out against it. My initial stance is against it because I just don't see people using it. A, B, the expenditure of doing it to for what it's going to cost to maintain and take on a daily basis. A gym is a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into maintaining equipment. We don't have chairs out at our swimming pool because we're so COVID conscious in this neighborhood. Now you're going to open up a bigger gym that needs to be wiped down. Crunch has people round the clock vacuuming and wiping down equipment nonstop. Are we going to have that? So now you're telling me I got to increase money I got to pay more money for my house to live here because there's a gym that a handful of people use that now I have to maintain too on top of that? Convince me otherwise. Don't tell me if you build it, they will come. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. With all due respect, that's not how it works. History dictates otherwise. Now, if I go in there tomorrow and see it standing room only, sure, then maybe I could say, wow, the neighborhood really wants it. I don't see that. I've gone in there staggered times to see what's going on in there. The most I've ever seen is 3 people in that gym. So, guys, think long and hard before we spend a whole boatload of money on building something new that we're building just to build. And then ask yourself, really, what do you do now? How would that be different? The convenience of it being in the clubhouse would be different? For me, I'd rather drive 15 minutes and have all the equipment I could possibly want and not have to maintain it than have to come here, maintain the equipment, pay more money out of my pocket, and not even necessarily have the equipment I want because the people who are putting it in have to accommodate multiple groups of people. It's not an easy 1, 2, 3, 3,000 square foot, just throw a bunch of equipment in it. It's not how that works. So I just think we need to think long and hard before we spend a bunch of money. And I can't even tell you what the money is because no one can seem to tell me exactly what the money is. I've heard as much as $500,000 up to over $2 million. I can tell you, my friend has a personal gym in Lakewood Ranch. His gym is over $500,000, and it's in a factory in a garage. So I don't know. I need to see more information, but I need to be convinced because as of right now, I wouldn't be on board with the gym unless you could tell me what the benefits really are to the neighborhood. So that's my 2 cents. People have asked me. If you want to come on this podcast and tell me why I'm wrong, please come on the podcast and tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I don't understand. I'd love to be educated on how the gym is going to increase my home value and how all of a sudden attendance is going to flourish because it happens to be there. It's there now and it's not flourishing. So I don't know how that would change. So I got a bunch of people who don't look like they've worked out a day telling me that we need a gym, and there's one sitting there not getting used. So I'm all for exposing our neighborhood to outside residents to garner interest in our neighborhood. And there are ways to do that, but none of this stuff this isn't transparent. This is all talk on the internet. I saw a post today. Harry said he wouldn't want to bond for this issue. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't want to have another bond on the property on Corey Lake to have to fund this endeavor. I think there's other things out there that could possibly increase the value of the neighborhood. more than doing this. So, and I'll throw one out there for you. And I know this is going to be more people, I think, would use a dog park. As much as I don't want a dog park, just because my experience in the dog park is the same way my experience was at my pool in my old neighborhood. And it's different here. I'm going to differentiate. My old neighborhood in Georgia, parents would bring their kids to the pool, and everybody else at the pool would babysit their kids while they got hammered at the pool. There's no alcohol at our pool. It's different. I get that. The dog park's the same thing. A lot of people bring their dog to the dog park to socialize with people and with the other dogs, and other people bring their dog to the dog park just to run roughshod over the entire dog park. But as far as usage-wise, straight usage, forget everything else. There's more people with pets in this neighborhood than there are working out in that gym, as far as I see. Tell me I'm wrong. Explain to me what I don't understand. I'm open. I am open to suggestion. I am open to the thought of it being beneficial. I just need to understand it better, because from where I sit, it's not increasing the value of my property. It's actually costing me more money. So guys, that's my 2 cents on the gym. If you have other questions, you could email me. Corey Lake News Pod Network, CLNPN @yahoo.com. Shoot an email there, and I'll address questions there as they come in. Sorry, I was off the map for a couple days. I went out of town after the heated POA election. I took a break and went to Texas to see a friend of mine, and I am back in town. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, this podcast is open to any board member, CDD, POA, any resident who wants to come on and tell me their stance on a particular topic. We can discuss it. Reach out, hit me up, and we can go from there. And please remember, someone had mentioned, sent me an email saying YouTube also, monitors and censors. Here's the difference. Our topics here in this particular podcast are centered around Corey Lake and their residential things. YouTube is unlikely to monitor or censor what we're discussing, less than particular groups on Nextdoor who control the moderation of particular boards, not like boards, but particular groups within Nextdoor or within WhatsApp. Those are residents in our neighborhood. If they don't like what's being said about them or it's being said in general, they can moderate that. That's not what this is. That's the difference between YouTube and what's going on every other board. I posted election stuff on multiple boards and on Nextdoor and WhatsApp, and it all got taken down. So by who? One side says I didn't do it. Everybody says they didn't do it, but somebody did it. So I don't want that here. That's why YouTube, and I don't think YouTube's going to monitor our gym discussion and say it's too risky to talk about. So quick 13 minutes on what's going on. The topic du jour in Corey Lake. Guys, have a great day. It's 90 degrees out. It's going to be beautiful. Jump in a pool. Go check out the sunset tonight. And lastly, the food trucks were great last night. The barbecue was absolutely delicious. If you're not taking advantage of that, going up there between 5 and 8 when it comes around. I couldn't get on a pod yesterday just because I was cleaning up stuff from when I got back from Texas. But that was great. The one thing I tell you, the ice cream was great as well. A little pricey, $7 for a sundae was a little bit pricey for me. But still, the convenience of not having to leave the neighborhood, is okay. But I'm not going to spend $7 a month for a gym. You know what I mean? Like the convenience of ice cream once a month, to spend a little extra is one thing. The convenience of having a gym here to pay extra for it, just two totally different things, and a much bigger expenditure. So, guys, I am around. I'm in the neighborhood. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Corey Lake News Pod Network @yahoo.com. CLNPN @yahoo.com. Have a great day.